Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I was having technical problems with the Zoom account. Give me just 1 second. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry again for the delay. My name is Omar Padilla. Welcome to this new acting webinar. We're going to start by introducing ourselves. Unfortunately, I cannot see you, but we can still interact with the webinar chat, with the little chat box that we have in there. So let's start by introducing ourselves. Please let me know what is your name, where are you connecting from, and if this is the first time that you connect to a webinar with me, and I'll start reading you. It is 6:11 p.m. Central Time, so we will finish the class at 7:11 Central Time as well. Recording on. And let me know if you are using the Q&A box. Okay, we have Chris from Jupiter, Florida. Let me know if this is the first time you're connecting as well. We have Kai Brown from California. Welcome. Chris, first time. Thank you. First time. All right. All right. We have Sakinia Taylor. First time. Welcome. Erica Flowers from Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome. Mariah from California. First time. Welcome. Brittany from New Hampshire. First time. Welcome. We have Freya from Portage, Illinois, first time. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing names and cities. As you can tell, I'm not from around. Adam Thorpe in Wisconsin, first time. Welcome, Adam. Miguel from Colorado, first time. Welcome, Miguel. Kimbrough Travis, Dearborn, is it Missouri? Hello, Roy Jones. Sean Kimball from Charlotte, North Carolina, first time. Desiree Olsen, first time. All right. Well, as everybody keeps introducing themselves, welcome to all of you first timers. Like I said before, my name is Omar Padilla. I am an actor, writer, director, editor, and teaching artist living in Dallas, Texas. I am from Mexico, from León, Guanajuato. I moved to Texas 16 years ago with I don't like to call it dream, with the passion of becoming a professional actor. And I've been doing so for the last 12 years. I work mainly on stage doing theater. I have worked with a lot of theater companies here in the DFW, including Dallas Theater Center, Dallas Children's Theater, Undermain Theater, Ocker House Theater, Second Thought Theater, Teatro Dallas, Caramia, Shakespeare in the Bar, Shakespeare Everywhere, Shakespeare Dallas, Altered Shakespeare, and so on. In 2016, I signed with my agent, with Kim Dawson Agency. Since then, my work extends in film, radio, TV, anime. We're very lucky to have Crunchyroll 40 minutes away from where I live, so I also do some voiceover as well. Um, and yeah, I'm very happy to be back with 99 providing one of my webinars. It's been a while. I think the last one was a couple of months ago. Lots of things have been happening. I am currently working on a show with Shakespeare Dallas called The Merry Wives of Windsor, which is super fun. I love working there. If you would ask me 10 years ago, or if you would tell me that I was going to be doing Shakespeare, I wouldn't believe it, but if you have determination, if you are patient enough, everything is possible in this industry. All right. And I'm going to give you some of my tips. This webinar is going to be mostly focused on the audition process. Okay. Everything that you need to know from the moment that you get the email to the moment that you leave the audition room. Okay. Like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years. 12 years I started doing theater. and 10 years I've been doing film, radio, and TV with my agent. So obviously, when I started, I was pretty green. I messed up a lot. And I gathered all this information, not just the good things. I also gathered information from the not too good things I did during some auditions. Because I think it is important that you know not just what to do, but also what not to do. Things that casting directors usually don't follow, they don't like, and things that probably will get you skipped from the rest, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about headshots, resumes. I will have also some open questions at the end. And if you want to take notes or screenshots, be my guest, you can do so. But also know that at the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you my email so that you can send me an email asking for the PDF and I can reply with the PDF of the presentation that I have prepared for you. All right. Alan Lopez from Dallas, Texas. Look at you. We're in the same city. Where did I stop? Desiree, Marisa, Illinois, first time. Dearborn, Michigan. We have, I just finished at the Wick Theater in Chicago. That's awesome. I would love to go to Chicago. One of my favorite companies, Steppenwolf, one of my favorite actors, Gary Sinise, Malkovich, John Malkovich. I love doing voiceover animation. I would like your cell number and email, please. We can talk about that later. Since we started a little late, since I started a little late, I would like to jump in into our presentation. So let me see if you don't have any more questions. We have Los Angeles. Tanya is present. Hi, Tanya. Kay Olson, hello. All right, so far we have 29 participants. Scott from Dallas, first time. Hi, Scott. Another one from Dallas. Sean from Fila, first time. First time with you. Anthony, welcome, Tony. First time. Mackenzie. Awesome. Well, I'm very excited that most of you are first timers. I think I only saw one person that have taken a webinar with me before. So yeah, we're definitely gonna go with the audition process. Teresa Logan, Branson, Mo, is that Missouri? First time. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me, like I said, my name is Omar Padilla. I was born in León, Guanajuato, Mexico. And I got this itch for acting and performing and entertaining mostly when I was around 7 years old. I come from divorced parents, so I can only see my father on Sundays. And every Sunday was the same, going to the movies, every Sunday, the same thing. That was my favorite thing to do with my dad, going to the movies, right? But one of the first times I went with him, like I said, I probably was like 7 years old. We went to see The Three Musketeers. And coming outside of the theater, I was just fascinated with the whole thing. And I'm talking about the Three Musketeers from Disney, Oliver Platt, Kiefer Sutherland, Chris O'Donnell. Who else was in that one? Was it Jeremy Irons? No, he was in the other one. But anyways, I was fascinated. I was very curious about the whole thing. And I was asking my dad, how do they do this? Oh, he told me there are some actors who have to learn a script. There's a director who tells you where to go, where to stand, how to do this, how to do that. And the thing that interested me the most was the script part, the storytelling. I just fell in love with storytelling. I was like, you're telling me I am capable of tell stories? And so I started doing that. Very young, I was not writing exactly, but I was already cooking stories in my mind during the week. And then whenever I meet my family in the weekend, I come from a big family as a good Mexican, have a lot of cousins. And I used to give them parts, like you're going to be the princess, you're going to be the dragon, you're going to be the ogre or whatever. I'll be the hero. And always performing in front of my family gave me a lot of joy. Every week was the same. I was cooking stories in my mind during the week and then the weekend perform in front of my family. Then that, translated into my school. I started performing at my school. My very first play I still remember was in sixth grade and I did Beauty and the Beast. extra points if you can guess what part I did. I auditioned for The Beast. I didn't get it, and that was the first time that I felt the rejection. And now I embrace it. Rejection, there's nothing wrong with that. We will talk about that as well. It's something that you have to deal with, especially and even more in this business, but the more you get used to it, the tougher you get, and you start no Gaston. I could do Gaston anyways, but no, it was not Gaston. I was not into villains back then. Now I love them. I play a lot of villains. As a matter of fact, the one character I'm playing right now at Shakespeare Dallas, it's not a villain necessarily, but it is the antagonist of the Merry Wives of Windsor, Master Ford. And then after this, I'm going to be working on Titus Andronicus playing the villain Saturninus, which I'm very, very excited about. Um, but yeah, I just fell in love with the whole thing, and I just kept doing it. I kept doing it. I kept doing it. And now I also write plays for kids. And I would like to open the webinar with a question that I always like to ask to the participants. And please don't try to be too pretty with your answers, okay? I want you to answer in stream of consciousness, meaning whatever comes to your mind first, you're gonna put it in the chat, okay? And yeah, don't give me like a very long answer, just something very simple, because it is a simple question. And the question is, why are you here? It is Thursday, 6:22 p.m. It's a beautiful day in Dallas, Texas. You could be doing anything else, but you decided to be here taking an acting class with me. Why? Why do you want to pursue this? Why do you want to be an actor? Why do you want to be an artist? Whatever comes to your mind, just put it in there. And no, it was not Gaston. It was, let me see if somebody else, the candlestick. Yes, Lumiere. Very good, Teresa. To learn how to succeed. Okay, the teacup or the candle holder, not the teacup. It was Lumiere. It was Lumiere. I love the stage and performing to better myself for auditioning. I want to do commercial voiceovers. Okay, good answer so far. I love the stage and performing. I want to try new things. Okay, I'm curious. I want to pursue acting and work the right side of my brain instead of my left, which I have utilized as a physician. Interesting, interesting. Taking in information to help me gain more confidence in acting. Okay. To sharpen my skills to have better opportunities. To learn how to make people smile. I like that one. To learn to act better and having fun because I've always wanted to perform and finally have time during my retirement years. Why not always doing voices and characters? Oh, why not always doing voices and characters? I want to perform and learn about the craft of acting as much as I can on a budget. LOL. To learn to act and be a part of a community film industry. To learn and taking a step of faith. Taking in information to help me gain more confidence in acting. Pursue my passion for acting and be light and salt for the world. I want to be a stuntman or act on a soap opera television shows. Awesome. Thank you so much for your answers. I will keep reading later. This is for you, okay? This answer is for you because as a kid, I have always dreamed of becoming a singer and I've always been fascinated by movies. I love storytelling as well. To be trained to be an actor who come to change the world, learn to craft and work magic. All right. Thank you so much. And again, this answer is not for me. This answer is for you because guess what? There's going to be, if you decide to go in this road, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not an easy road, but it's enjoyable if you make it enjoyable, right? But there's a lot that you're gonna have to, sacrifice sometimes. In my case, sometimes I cannot go on trips with friends because I'm doing theater, and theater demands a lot of time. And also, like, if you want to be good, if you want to succeed, whatever success means to you, if you want to really bring this beautiful craft on stage or on camera with a good presence and do it right, you're gonna need to use a lot of your time in this, right? And there's going to be a lot of moments when your mind, because we are all human beings and it's a human condition, our mind has this part called ego, right? And sometimes it tries to trick you, telling you you're not good enough. There's someone better. It's too hard. It's too competitive. Blah, 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 blah. There's so many things that your mind is going to tell you. And you're going to have to come back to your answer and say, why am I doing this? Oh, because I want to blah blah blah, because I want to do this, because I want to, and whatever your answer is, that's totally fine. Okay. If you are here to make money in this business, if you're here to be successful, again, whatever success means to you, because to me it might mean a different thing than to you. To me, success means to have enough work, to be able to make a living from what I love to do, which is acting, right? Money, sure, we all need money, and money is good, right? But if you think that you want to do this because of money, you're probably going to struggle at first. And well, I don't like to use the word struggle, but you need to make your own road, right? To me, the reason why I wanted to do this, and it was very, very, very clear. I just told you I started doing this since I was 7, and the joy that I felt from entertaining people was like priceless. There was nothing else that brought me any more joy than to entertain. So that's why I do this, because I love to entertain. And don't get it wrong, we are entertainers. Okay? If you're trying to inspire people or teach people, that is a plus, of course. I remember when I was writing my first play, I was always thinking about, how can I teach these kids something, or how can I inspire them? And I was blocked. It was not until I thought, you know what? Forget about the inspiration teaching part and just focus on entertaining an audience, right? And that's when everything started flowing. And if you inspire somebody or if you teach someone, that's a plus. That's really cool. I actually learn a lot from movies. I get super inspired from movies, but that's not my main objective when I'm going to watch a movie. I'm not like, oh, I want to be, well, maybe sometimes if I want to write, right? But the main purpose to me is to entertain. Okay. And so, again, these answers are for you to have in your mind whenever your ego, because there's no other way to call it, tries to trick you, telling you you're not good enough, there's someone better, it's too hard, it's too competitive, you're about to throw the towel. Go back to that answer and say, I'm here to entertain. And I feel this is the purpose of my life, and that's why I'm very dedicated. I am very focused. And that's why I'm always working. I'm always trying to keep myself busy. I remember a lot of actors during the pandemic were like, well, there's nothing else to do. I guess I'll do something else. I was like, no, this is the time to learn. When you're not working, there's always something to learn, something new. We're like medics, like doctors, in a way. They never stop learning, and we shouldn't do either. You can always grab a book, and now that we have YouTube and Google and all that, learn about those people that you're following. In my case, I grew up watching Al Pacino's movies. Al Pacino was always my favorite actor, and I love reading about Al Pacino's life, how he got where he is right now. You can read about any technique that you would like to learn in acting. Meissner technique. You can read about Stanislavski and the method acting, which I don't particularly follow. I don't follow any type of technique other than my intuition, because I think at the end of the day, that is what acting is: following your instincts, listening, and reacting to something that you're living through, right? And we will talk about that. But like I said, this webinar is focused for auditioning, because we need to audition if we want to get parts, unless you're Leonardo DiCaprio or someone like that, who also sometimes actually still auditions unless they offer them a part, right? But we mortals have to still audition if we want to get parts. And there is I don't know if I should call it science, but there is a process, right? And if you follow that process accurately, then your chances to get booked are gonna be bigger. All right. So I'm going to close the Q&A box for now. The experience and your different point of view other than my own. The experience and you are a different point of view other than my own. Of course, we are different people. Gain valuable information to enhance my career. Awesome. All right, I'm going to close the Q&A box right now and I'm going to share my screen. Sharing. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen right now. Participants can now see your screen. Thank you, Brittany. All right, so here we are. And this is voice acting. This is the wrong PDF. Uh, sorry about that. Voice acting. Audition process. Here we go. All right, I'm not looking at the chat box right now because I need to go through the presentation, but I will go through your messages again at the end. Slideshow. Play from start. All right, here we go. The audition process. So, first things first. Your first contact usually is going to be 24 hours before the audition. Now, let me tell you something. This presentation I did mostly for auditioning for commercials, right? But we can adapt it into film or theater or even like TV shows, right? But what you're going to see on the screen is for commercial auditions, okay? I will tell you a few differences there are between auditioning for commercials or for film or theater, right? For example, for commercials, you usually get the audition notice 24 hours before the audition. So that's why you need to think fast and work really fast, okay? For a film or for a play, sometimes you can even get 1 month before they can, if the director really wants you to do it, they can even tell you 1 month before the audition so that you can prepare even better, right? You're gonna get the casting call in the form of an email. What you want to do first is read the email at least 3 times before you even think that you have a question. Again, I gather all this information because I messed up a lot at the beginning. Okay. We all start this very green, and I remember at the beginning, I used to get so excited with with my auditions that I was like, oh my God, yeah. And I'm asking a question to my agent and they're like, well, that question you're asking me, it's actually in the email. So you better read the email at least 3 times before you even think you have a question. You want to send an instant reply if you can do it. Agents love that their talents are available 24/7, right? When I started working with Kim Dawson Agency, they actually didn't want me to do theater because they know theater takes a lot of time. And sometimes if I get an audition in Austin, it's hard for me to go there if I have a rehearsal or a play or a show already, right? So they want you to be as available as possible. And if you can send an instant reply, do so. If you're working or if you're driving, don't worry, but try to do it as soon as possible. You want to look at all the printed attachments and the scripts. Sometimes you're going to get the full script if it's a play or a movie. Sometimes you're just going to get sides, which is sides are just a few pages that contains or a scene that contains dialogue that your character you're going to audition for, are in there. So look at all those printed attachments and scripts. You want to begin trying to understand the script and character, okay? This is super important. And I know because I used to do it as well, especially for voiceover. When I get an audition for voiceover, the first thing I do when I get the side or the copy or the script is acting immediately. I'm like, oh, how am I gonna do the voice for this? Or how am I gonna do this part? Forget about acting right now. You're not there yet. You are not there yet. And trust me, if you want to do it good, you need to go through the whole process, right? At least that is how I do it, okay? Maybe for you it's different, but I'm telling you my point of view. My advice is before you start acting and making voices and choices or anything like that, understand the script, understand the character, okay? Who are you in this universe that they created? What is your relationship with everybody else? But the most important question, and this is what we call in the part of the process, this is what we call deconstructing the script. And you have to ask a lot of questions, okay? Why am I doing this? Where am I coming from? Where am I going? But the most important question you can ask yourself is, what does my character want? Okay, that is going to give you all the motivation that you need. Everything that you need to know is with the wants and needs from the character. And if you think about it, every character wants something, at least the protagonists and antagonists, right? They always want something. And I always like to give Disney examples because most of us have seen those movies, right? What does Simba from Lion King wants? He wants to be king, then he doesn't want to be king, then he wants to be king again. He's a little crazy, right? What does Woody from Toy Story wants? He wants to be Andy's favorite toy, right? And the want can change throughout the story, but there's always a main the more important want, right? What does Frodo from Lord of the Rings wants? He wants to take the ring to Mordor so that he can throw it in the volcano and bring peace back to Middle Earth, right? There's always a want. So when you're going to audition, and even if it's for a small commercial, I always think about what does my character want? I want to sell a hamburger. I want to sell a car. I want to offer the best service there is in banks or in hospitals, or always think about the want. What does my character want? Okay. Once you start understanding that, then you can your vision for the story is going to broaden. Okay. And your choices are going to be always tied to those wants. And they're going to become more real, more organic, if I may say so. Okay. So what does my character want? Why now? What happens if they don't get it? Those three questions are going to open a lot of possibilities for you to bring to your character, right? So before you start acting, making voices or anything like that, understand the script and understand your character. All right, now we're gonna move on to preparing for the audition. First thing you need to do is write all dates and times in calendar, all right? We all have one of these, I hope. Smartphones all have calendar apps, right? So what you want to do immediately is write down the dates and times. My audition is on August 11 at 4 p.m. All right, boom, 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 boom. I register that on my calendar so that there is nothing wrong, right? You want to lay out clothes. How are you going to dress for your audition? Please try to avoid prints, whites, blacks, and stripes, okay? No prints, no whites, no blacks, no stripes. Why not? Well, you don't want to go to an audition with a Nike logo or with a Bart Simpson t-shirt or anything like that. It's very unprofessional. You want to go usually with solid colors like the t-shirt that I have right now, depending on the audition, right? If you're going to audition for Nike, maybe you do want to go with a Nike jersey or t-shirt or something like that. But if it's for a film or for theater, try to avoid prints, okay? It's a little unprofessional to bring prints to auditions. I've been on the other side of the table as well, and I can tell you casting directors do not like that. Whites and blacks, usually you have one of those colors in the background and you want to contrast with that. It also, the lighting is not very good with those two colors. So try to avoid those unless the audition tells you to go in black or white, because it can happen. I've got an audition for a milk product and I had to be the milkman, and they told me precisely come dressed all in white. If that's the case, then you do, right? But if not, I would tell you try to avoid those. Stripes also make you look different on camera, so try to avoid stripes. I would say use solid colors, and what color looks good on you better than anybody else, right? So go with that. I usually wear blues, grays are fine, and depending on the audition, if I'm going to audition for Whataburger, I can also sometimes play with the colors and use colors that the company uses. Sometimes, not all the times, but these are my suggestions. You want to lay out two headshots and attach resumes. Why two and not just one? Again, this is my personal experience. I went to an audition one time. It was extremely windy that day. As soon as I came out of my car, the headshot on my resume just flew away, and it was all dirty when I pick it up, and it was very embarrassing to give the casting director that headshot, right? Luckily, I have another copy in my car, so try to always bring two. You need to be one step ahead, okay? You need to be super prepared for this type of auditions, and you need to attach the resume on the back. Now, What is the size of a headshot? It should be 8 by 10. Okay. You don't want to do 8.5 by 11 or 8 by 11, 8 by 10. Okay. And on the back of your headshot, you're going to staple the resume, only one staple on the top center and one staple on the bottom center. Okay. Do not do pa, 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 pa. Do not do four or three, only two. One on the top center, one on the bottom center. Now, when you print your resume, usually they come in a bigger size than the headshot 8 by 10. So you're gonna have to trim the resume so that it fits the headshot. Okay, you don't want the headshot like this and then the resume hanging on the bottom. You want the same size for both of you of your resume and headshot. So you're gonna have to trim your resumes, right, so that it fits 8 by 10. Only one staple on the top bottom, one staple on the one staple on the top center and one on the bottom. Okay. And if we have time, I can show you my headshot and my resume so you can see the format as well. There are two different types or more types of headshots, but I will only tell you the theatrical and the commercial one. Okay. And very quickly, I'll tell you, for a commercial headshot, you want to be showing a big smile, right? That it shows teeth and your personality as well. For a theatrical headshot, you don't want to look too smiley, but more dramatic, right? Those are two different types of auditions. But for commercial, usually you are showing teeth, a big smile, and your personality with bright colors as well. All right, you want to plot out a map of how to get there, even if you know exactly where the audition place is. Oh, yeah, it's right next to the McDonald's on that street, whatever. Plot out a map because you don't know if it's going to be rush hour, if there's going to be traffic or not. So try to have at least two ways to get there. You want to set two alarm clocks and plot out when to leave. Okay, again, you want to be one step ahead of everything. Okay, maybe you have an alarm, the alarm goes, and then you get a phone call from a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time, and it distracts you. So you want another alarm to bring you back on game. All right, now it's time to show up. Please, please do not show up on time. And what I mean by this is if your audition is at 4 p.m., do not show up at 4 p.m. Try to be there at least 15 minutes earlier. If you can be 20 minutes, even better. 30 minutes is a little too much, but I would say 15 to 20 minutes is good enough because there's so many things that you can do while you wait. And you never know, maybe they let you in before your time. But I don't think it's a good thing that you are right on time. Okay, because you're gonna be rushed, you're gonna be a little stressed if you're like me. So you wanna be there on time, and these are all the things that you can do while you wait. Assess the room, first of all, and you want to match the mood of the room. If everybody is quiet, focused in their lines, in their scripts, in their sides or whatever, you want to do the same. Okay, you don't want to be the one, hey everybody, how's it going? And distracting and making noise. We want to be as professional as we can. Sometimes there are actors talking to each other, you want to do that, fine. I want to be focused, right? I want to focus on my audition and I want to, try to, look for the sides or the script or the copy. If you don't know what copy is, that's how we call it when you're going for voiceover, right? In radio, they call the script copy. So you want to look for all those sites and you want to pick up the sites first. Check them against your email because guess what? They may have changed. Most of the times they change at least one word, one sentence, something changes always. So check them against your email. If they are different, go rehearse the changes. That's why you want to be early. If they're not, still check your memorization because you are in a new place. When you were rehearsing for the audition, you were probably in your bedroom or in the bathroom, I don't know, in a calm place where there's no background noise or anything like that. Now you're going to be probably with, I don't know, 20, 50, 200 more people, depending how big the audition is. So there's going to be other factors that are going to alter your memorization. So still, if things have not changed at all, check your memorization. You are in a new place. Now you want to sign in, fill out the information sheet first, and give the headshots to the attendant if they're taking them. The information sheet is very simple information, right? Just like like if you live in Dallas or wherever you are, or if you're willing to shave, sometimes they ask you that. If you have tattoos, visible tattoos or not. If you are if you are an actress, if you're willing to dye your hair. I've heard that before. So it's just like very general information. Sometimes your phone number and stuff. Now, observe the room. This is very important. And again, you would not be able to do this if you get there right on time. But if you're there 15 minutes early, you can observe the room and notice the process. How are they taking people in and out? I really like to do this when I go to audition because that gives me some insight of what I am going to expect in the audition room, right? I see, I don't know, a talent going inside the room and I count, and it's maybe he or she is there 5 minutes, right? Comes out, then the next one goes in, and it's there 3 minutes or less. And then the next one is 5 minutes. Then I'm okay. So I want to probably match the people that are there 5 minutes. That means, that's how long it's going to take me, right? You want also to look around the room. This is something that you can do or not, but if you're going to do it, you do it very casual. Do not be staring at people in their eyes. But I do like to look around and see what other actors are doing. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a competition. It should be a safe competition, right? Um, but it is a competition. You want to get the part, and maybe you're missing something on the script. And when you're looking around and you see other talent doing other stuff, I'm not telling you you're going to copy them, but this is the time where you can get some inspiration or just look at the competition. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, and now it's time to go inside the room. They call your name and it's time for you to go inside. What are you gonna do? Sorry, Tony, I'm gonna close this for now. Same thing. You want to assess the room, but this time you want to think fast because time goes really quickly. At least for me, time goes, oh, and then you're outside of the room again and you're like, oh my God, that was it. So you need to think fast. Whatever the mood of the room, raise it by one level. On the waiting room, you want to match it. In this room, you want to raise it by one level. You're going to deal with casting directors that sometimes are very serious. They don't want to, have any type of conversation outside of the audition. Some of them are pretty nice and they actually want to break the ice by asking you questions. Where are you from? Or what do you like to watch on TV? Or what's your favorite color? They want to make you feel a little more relaxed, but only if you're lucky. Some of them are just like getting your mark, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. So you want to raise the mood of that room just a tiny bit, okay? Don't try to be too cute, just be real, okay? You're going to find the camera, boom, right there. You're going to find the X is going to be on the floor. That's your mark. That's where they want you to stand, okay? Depending on what shot they want you to see, they want to see you in. If it's like a close up or a medium shot or a medium full shot, or a full shot even, right? There is an X on the floor. That's where they want you to stand. Okay. So find the camera, find the X, go for it. Now you want to connect, find the director, find the ad people, and find your reader if you have one. You don't necessarily need to have one. Sometimes it's just you and the camera. But sometimes if it's usually for a movie or for a play, you most likely will have a reader, right? And it's very easy to identify because they will have the script in their hand. Now, getting direction. This is just an advice. If the director describes something funny about the script, laugh, okay? Even if it's not funny for you. If you want to get higher, you want to have a sense of humor similar. I'm not saying that you need to have the same sense of humor as the director, but if you really want to get the part and if you're a good actor, you can laugh of something that is not too funny for you, right? They don't want to work with people that don't have a sense of humor for a comedy, for example, but obviously they want to work with people that are honest and real, okay? So if they ask you to sit or stand, I would suggest stand. The blood flows better, your energy is way better. If you feel that you need a moment to calm down, you can ask for further direction or clarification. Yes, you can ask for things, okay? When I started this, I thought they're the boss. I'm the employee or whatever, like I'm not entitled to ask any questions or anything like that. No, you totally can ask for questions. Actually, sometimes they even ask that you ask questions because that they see that you care about the project. You want to know more so that your work is better, right? So if you need to have a little moment, you can definitely ask for direction. Do you want me to do this over the top or realistic? Or what is the intention that you are looking for? Those are totally valid questions, okay? You want to slate strong, almost stage-like, okay? Slating, they are going to tell you what to slate, slate your name, your agent, and the city where you live. So it'll be, or yeah, the city where you live, for example. It'll be something like, hi, my name is Omar Padilla. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I am with Kim Dawson Agency. So you want to do it with a little smile, right? Showing your personality. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. A lot of times, casting directors, unfortunately, they don't even like see more of you other than the slate. If your slate is bad, they're not even going to see your audition. They're like, ah, that's all I need to know, right? That's why it's super important. Slating is like your business card, kind of, right? So you want to be very clear with your words, enunciate, articulate, and that's why it's also important to warm up before going to an audition. You want to warm up your voice, you want to warm up your body, and you want to warm up your imagination, your three tools. Those are the three tools of the actor: voice, body, imagination. So, you want to enunciate, you want to show your personality, but again, don't be cute, be real, be yourself, and loud enough that they can hear you, even in camera, right? If you're like, hello, my name is Omar Padilla, I'm with Kim Dawson Agency, and I live in Dallas, Texas, they're going to skip, right? You want to be super clear about it. All right, doing the audition. Take your time. All right. This is your audition. I don't mean you need to take all the time of the world. You have to respect that there's other talent waiting for their moment, right? But I'm also trying to tell you, do not rush, because that's what I used to do at first. Like, oh my God, I need to do it because there's a lot of people and I need to see a lot of people, and rushing is going to, bring your audition down. So take your time, okay? Remember, you're the only one in the room who can do this at that particular time. That's why they call for you. Use or employ tricks that calm you down. And this is a part where I usually stop, because whatever it is that you do to calm yourself down, go for it. But I always encourage people, even more to people that want to do this, to try meditating. And, meditation doesn't have to be like, and nothing like that. Meditation is just bring your awareness to the present time. And I'm not telling you you're going to do that during the audition. You're going to do that 1 hour before your audition. And believe me, it's a game changer, at least for me. You're going to sit down for, I do 20 minutes, but I'm not asking you to do that. If you want to do only 5 minutes, that's totally fine. Or 10 minutes, right? I would say 10 minutes is good enough to just relax and do not think about the audition at all. You just relax, you just listen to your breathing, you close your eyes if you want, you breathe in, you breathe out, you listen to that process for 10 minutes, no distractions. If you think about other things, totally fine, let them go. I mean, just find any type of meditation that you want, but I would totally recommend meditating 1 hour before going to an audition. I do it for 15, 20 minutes, no thinking at all about the audition. And after my meditation, then I do another work that it's called visualization. That's when you think about your audition and you think about everything, everything at all, everything. So I think about how is the place, even if I don't know exactly what the place look like. I visualize the place, I visualize the casting directors being excited about my work, I visualize myself doing an amazing job, doing the audition perfectly fine. I'm getting the direction, I am responding, I am organic, I can visualize the way I'm dressed, the smells, everything, as much as you can visualize, okay? This is very powerful, and it is a tool that a lot of people don't know humans have. But I have used the power of visualization for many things, and it has worked. So take it or leave it. This is just, again, my advice that has helped me many, many times. But if you're still nervous during the audition, you can shake, right? Shake, or close your fist, open, close your face, open, close, open, and just do some breathing exercises. Whatever, you know yourself better than me, so whatever works for you, go for it. If it's a commercial, look at the camera. If it's a movie, look at the reader. Be memorable. Whatever that means to you, be memorable. Okay, we all have something that distinguish us from the rest. Okay, you have to figure it out what that is. Some people take a whole life to find out what is it that makes you special. Some people find it immediately. Charles Chaplin knew it immediately. This is me. This is what I have, and he became one of the best. Read as if you already got the job and you are in the shoot. This is another amazing tool that I use, and I think I heard this from either Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad or Robert De Niro, one of those two. I can still remember who said that, but I remember watching this interview and thinking, that is great. Like, I know there's a lot of actors who don't like auditioning, and I'm like, why are you doing this then? This is our work. This is what we do for a living. Like, auditioning is part of it. No, but I get too nervous and this, and I'm so what? I get nervous all the time. You need to start changing the chip, changing the switch, that being nervous is wrong, is bad, is negative. No, 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 no. There's nothing wrong with being nervous. I actually think it's something wrong if you are not nervous, because being nervous means that you care, right? And if you care, it's because you want to do things right. Now, the deal here, the thing is, you need to know how to use that energy on your favor, right? Don't let it surround you, and don't let it become fear, because fear, we don't want that. Nervous is totally fine. Fear, then yeah, I don't think you can work with fear. But being nervous is totally fine. Just use that energy, canalize it, and then bring it to your work. Believe me, it's amazing. And if you think that you are in the work already, this is the job, it's not an audition, this is the job, I'm already in the shoot or in the commercial or in the play, you feel it, guess what? They can feel it as well. They see it. They're like, oh my God, this guy memorized the lines for the audition. That's awesome. And this guy looks like he's already in the job and not in an audition. Watch auditions on YouTube. Watch the audition and then the work. And you can see, obviously, there's going to be growth, but you can see how the actors who treat the auditions as they are already in the job, those are the ones who get it, right? It's a very powerful tool. All right, now after delivery, you can ask for direction, right? Do you want me to try something else? How did it feel for you? Any questions that you have related to the scene, to the work, I think they're totally fine. And then just smile and thank them when you're done, okay? You don't want to do some small talk or like, hey, so how was your summer or anything like that. Just smile, thank you, goodbye. If your audition wasn't memorable, you can say something memorable now. That's up to you. I don't usually use this. This is just in break in case of emergency kind of thing, okay? Take all your trash out with you. I am writing this down because I've seen it before. Actors that leave bottles of water in there or stuff like that. And not only the physical trash, also the mental trash. Take it out with you. Don't ask any questions about callbacks or when will you know or did I do good? They hate that, all right? They don't like when actors are asking about callbacks or anything like that. Sometimes they even, it's one of those decisions that you're like, oh, you're done, So do not ask about callbacks. When will you know? And obviously do not say, did I do good? Or never say I did badly, because that, even if you did, that talks a little bit about your self-esteem, and they don't want to work with people with low self-esteem. They want to work with people that they know they'll be able to manage their emotions when they are on stage or on camera, right? All right. Now you're leaving. That's it. No, not yet. You want to assess the waiting room again. Yes, you're done with your audition, but we are in an industry that can be tough and very arrogant sometimes. I told you before, it is a competition. Yes, it is a competition. But if it's not for you, it's not for you. Don't try to figure out what went wrong, or if it's not for you, it's not for you. Okay, like my dad used to say, there's enough for everybody in this world, so just wait for your opportunity. You never know, maybe this wasn't for you, but your audition was so good and so memorable that they're going to call you for something else. So I would say offer to read with someone if they need your help. I love when people come to me and, hey, you need help with this. Oh yeah, again, you don't know if that person is going to be a producer or a director for another project. We have to learn how to be humble in this industry and in the world in general. Sign out if you need to. And then on the way home, you're going to breathe and re-audition in the car. And you're going to do this automatically. Just take notes for the callback, right? You're going to be going back and, my slate was great, but that first take, I should have done that first line better. Oh, I should have done this better. Take all those notes, all right? Because if you get the callback, you want to wear the same thing or something similar, because if they liked you in the first audition, try to wear the same thing or something similar. And then you're going to do the same thing you did in the car going home from the first audition, or those mental notes that you took. This is the time for you to apply them, and hopefully you will get the job. All right. And that's it for the audition process. All right. Wow. We ended at 7:02. I told you we will be ending this at 7:10, something like that, because we started late. I'm sorry again about that. But this is the audition process. I'm sorry if I went a little quickly, but we only have 1 hour to talk about all these things. Like I said, I am more than willing to share with you this PDF for the audition process. So if you want the PDF, don't send me your emails. I'm going to give you my email so that you can email me, and then I will reply with the PDF of the audition process. You're welcome, Audra. Let me see if I have any other questions here. To learn, pursue my passion. I want to be a stunt. I read that. I read that. To be trained. I read that. I have always been afraid of other judging me. Hmm. I don't wish to care anymore. I truly want to try this. I feel like I'm a very passionate person. I feel this passion could be brought to the screen. Yeah, Mariah, you don't have to care about other people judging you. You don't even have to care about you judging yourself, because I am reading lately about this fascinating philosophy called the Stoicism, right? And some of them say, like, we don't need to have an opinion for everything, right? If you think about it, it's like, yeah, why? Why do I need to have an opinion for everything? So yeah, good for you, Mariah. Chris Cordera, you too? I have to go. Thanks. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Chris. Omar, what are sides? We talk about that. Sides are a portion of the script that contains lines that you will be saying in the audition, right? If you're auditioning for a play or for a movie, sometimes they do send you the whole script, but sometimes they only send you sides, only 2 to 5 pages, and it's going to have the lines that the director wants to see, right? For you to practice. So you don't have to practice the whole script, only that portion of the script. I hope that was clear. You're welcome. With the headshots and resumes, how would you put those together to hand into a director? With the headshots and resumes, how would you put those together to hand into a director? We talk about that. Headshots should be 8 by 10. Resumes needs to be trimmed so that it fits the same size of the headshot. And you're going to staple the resume in the back of the headshot, one staple on the top center and one staple in the bottom center. You do not hand those to the director. You usually hand those to the casting director, who then they will give to the director. All right. Write down my email for those of you who want to get the PDF. My email is, and I'm going to put it in the Q&A box, is J as in Jack, and then my name, Omar, Omar, My last name is Padilla, P as in Peter, A, D as in David, I, L, then the letter O at gmail.com. All right, and I'm sending it. I don't know if you can see it though. I think it's in the tab that says answered. If you go there, you will be able to see it. So it's J as in Jack, Omar, Padilla, Padilla, O at gmail.com. Send me your requests for the PDF. If you can do it tonight, do it tonight because I'm probably going to send it to you tomorrow. If I get emails in 2 days, unfortunately, you won't get it because it just becomes too much for me to be tracking every email. So try to do it tonight. As soon as the class is over, just send me a quick email saying, hey, I want the PDF, whatever you want to say, right? But try to do it tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, because I probably will send it tomorrow afternoon. All right. I will reply with the PDF for sure. Thank you. And Jess, I want a copy, please. Yes. So just yeah, just send me an email. Brittany. Yes, yes, yes. What else? I am 65. Is it too late to start a new career? No, 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 not at all. Morgan Freeman didn't reach success until he was like in his mid 40s or something like that. It's never too late. I would say that it's never too late, and I am very proud of the people that decide to try something new, even if they think their time for doing something is past. Because acting, you can do acting any time of your life. It's never too late, and you can still learn new things. So I would say it's never too late. And this is Natalie Perez. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate all the valuable insight you gave us. You're welcome, Sean Kimball. Thank you. Very informative. You're welcome, Robert King. Can you forward me your email, please? Thank you. I thought I did. J as in Jack, Omar Padilla O at gmail.com. Thank you, and Jess. Thank you. You're welcome, Teresa. Thank you. Very informative. You're welcome, McKinsey. Thank you. Very good info. You're welcome, Freya. Thank you, Omar. This has been very informative. You're welcome, Sean. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate all the valuable insight. You're welcome. You're welcome, Zoom user. Thank you so much. All right, we're reaching the end of this webinar. Again, I apologize for the technical issues at the beginning. Haven't connected in a while, so I don't know why I had trouble with the Zoom. But thank you so much for connecting today and dedicate some of your time to learn something. I hope you learned something. I hope it was helpful. Once you see it in the PDF and you have it with you, you can, change any things that you want to change in your own process. Because at the end of the day, we are very different as human beings. Our brains work very different. So maybe some things work for you and maybe some others don't. So you can definitely adapt my process to your own process because it's going to be your journey. And I really hope that your journey is as pleasant and joyful as mine has been. There's definitely moments where, I have thought like, oh, this is so hard, and I should have been a lawyer or something like that. But at the end of the day, I am very sure that this is what I am meant to do, and I love it. And that's why I keep myself working. I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful to all the companies that hire me. Like I said at the beginning, I have worked with almost every company here in Dallas, Texas. And 10 years ago, I would never thought about it. And here I am now, trying to share as much or as little as I know. Thank you for the class and your time, Omar. I learned a lot and look forward to learning with you again in the future. Good luck with everything and hope to see you down the road in person in an audition. Thank you, Anthony, Tony, Lugo. Thank you so much. Thank you and have a blessed evening. Thank you, you too, Tanya Ballard. What can I do to improve as an actor for first time starting? This is good. Do this. Take as many classes as you can, watch videos, read books. I think it's very important to read, um, learn about the techniques that you want to learn, get inspired, act, write a little short film. That's how I did it, because a lot of people ask me, hey, but how can I get an agent how can I get work if I don't have an agent? Well, I didn't have an agent in my first 3 years here, and I got a lot of work. What did I do? First, and I'm going to tell you this quickly and then we're done. Uh, I wrote my own material. I wrote like two, three short films and I did those with my friends and I put that on my first resume. I also went online. Google is your best friend. Just type auditions near me or casting calls near me. You're gonna have to find. You need to do the work, right? Do not wait for things to come to you. You need to go and look for things. Do not wait in your house or in your apartment for things to happen, because they're not going to happen. It's not that easy. You need to go out and mingle. Network is very important. I did a lot of movies where I was an extra. I don't do those anymore because I did it my first 2 years. And, back then I enjoyed it. I don't want to do them anymore because I don't think I'm an extra anymore. Nothing wrong with that. I want to have lines. But my first years, I did a lot of extra work and I put those on my first resume. Do not put extra though. That's another tip. If you are an extra, a patron in a bar, just put patron or boyfriend or father or girlfriend. Do not put extra. All right. What else? Do a lot of student films. I did those. Go to whatever universities are in your city and audition for student films. They're always looking for talent. They don't pay though, unfortunately. But if you're new in this, you need to grow your resume. I'm giving you tips how to grow your resume. So, because guess what? When you are going to look for an agent, you cannot go without a resume or a headshot. And that's the tricky part, right? But you can find work without an agent. And once you have enough experience to at least have a resume, a one-page resume, you go with that. I was very lucky. My agent came to see me on a play I did in Theater Arlington where they paid me $150. Like that was nothing. I was just starting. It was not even the gas because it was in Fort Worth, well, in Arlington, but I had to drive like an hour and I was like $150. I was, well, it's gonna get me some experience. Little did I know that an agent was going to be on one of my performances, and after the show, she came to me and said, like, hey, I like what I saw. We want to sign you in. Would you like the representation? I was like, yes. And yeah, the rest is history. All right, that's it for me tonight. Thank you so much. Stay encouraged. Thank you, Sakinia Taylor. I appreciate this class. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Very informative. Thank you. Thank you. Have a blessed evening. Yes. Na, na, na. Thank you for every useful lesson. Yes, I am 65 and was successful professor of the university, multilingual Ukrainian. That's impressive. Already successful, take part in fashion show competition, won 4 crowns. That's amazing. Thank you for everything. You're welcome. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I hope you have a really nice rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.